In the process of talking to everybody,
Yeah.
there has been word that you may have put on women's clothing for a specific scene, and you looked fabulous in it. So please discuss.
Well, yes, I got to wear a dress and a red wig. I felt very comfortable in it, I have to say. It was a scene, and we were sort of playing around with the humor side of it, you know, and that's something that I think Matthew does very well. It's almost like the characters kind of send themselves up in certain certain areas, you know, in certain scenes, and just sort of it gives you know, a little bit of relief. And we did experiment with the scene where Charles kind of, you know, through sort of mind manipulation, makes one of the characters see me as a woman. It didn't make it on the film, but maybe the extras, I don't know.
Are you happy that it didn't make the film when you were watching the final cut? Were you like, thank goodness it's not on the screen?
Not really. I mean, you know, I don't care. You know, if it works, it works. I feel, like I say, I feel very comfortable in women's clothes.
That's going viral there.
That's going out.
Nice.
That'll be on the internet this afternoon. Michael Fassbender enjoys dressing up as a woman.
I'll leave the previous part totally taken out of context.
Exactly.
No, don't. I won't. Promise. I'll do an
Doesn't
intro
matter to
and be like, Michael Fassbender. No. So to be able to be in a film like the X-Men, when you got the call, because there's a lot of fans of this title, and so when you knew that you were going to play Magneto, was there even kind of, I don't know if trepidation is the right word, but is there kind of like were you questioning, like, really? Was this like is this right? Or did you read the script and you kind of knew that it was going the way that it did in the end?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you hear that, you know, a series that, you know, there's already 4 films before this film, we started to make this film, you think, oh, you know, well, what's the reasoning, and what sort of, you know, what's the story going to be? Is there anything new to be explored? Definitely you think of all those things. But then I got the script, I read it, and I really enjoyed it. And then, you know, the idea that Matthew was going to direct, I found that very attractive. And then the fact that James was going to be playing a young Charles, I thought, well, this could be, you know, this could be a really interesting combination. So at that point, you know, you just go for it. And, you know, obviously the fans are so passionate and so loyal and so honest with their opinions that, you know, there is that element of pressure there. But, you know, you just have to sort of go for it and work hard on it, and then hopefully do justice to it. You know?
What was that triumvirate of between you, James, and Matthew like the working relationship, in the sense that was there by the end an unspoken kind of way to do certain things, or did you kind of have to work to get the performances that you did on screen?
Yeah, no, we did a lot of work. We worked every morning. We worked in the time that we had available to us before we started filming, which wasn't a huge amount of time. But we definitely made the most of that, and you know, we discussed a lot about the sort of relationship and the friendship, and the eventual fracturing of that friendship. That was something that we knew we had to get right, and it had to be intelligently dealt with, and that required a lot of work. And you know, it was very easy in that respect, because Matthew and James, I mean, I got on very well with both of them, and we had a very open, honest discourse. And, you know, all of us have a sense of humor. James got a great sense of humor. But, you know, we're very sort of practical actors, and whatever works best is what we wanted to get to. And so it helped a lot, and he was a great sort of ally to have, James.
Flip side is you've got quite a lot of physical demands on a film like this. So did it take a while to kind of get your body into this kind of sense memory of like, I'm gonna fight? I don't know, like what was the...
No, I mean, you know, for me, I mean, there was other characters that you know, I mean, I did do some training in the gym, just because there are some stunts that I did in the film that, you know, just that you could just get it like you could pull a muscle easy enough if you're not warmed up, or you haven't sort of prepared your body somewhat. But I didn't do a great deal of training. Magneto's sort of, it's not one of his greater strengths, his physicality or his fighting skills. That's actually least of his potential powers. So I didn't really have to do much training, to be honest.
Except for this.
Yes, just my hands. Did a lot of sort of training with my hands. You know, did a lot of sort of... I spent hours in my kitchen trying to bend a spoon, and I never managed to do it, which was a bit upsetting, really.